this case, guys, it says write the explicit form of the geometric sequence. So here they're asking us to write the equation. Okay, so first of all, guys, we are given a sequence. We're given negative 243, 81, negative 27, and 9. Now, in this case, we want to go ahead and see how we're going from one term to the next to the next. Now, in this case, guys, if we see in this case that our numbers are actually decreasing, we're most likely multiplying by a fraction or dividing. So in order for us to find the common ratio here, common ratio, we're going to go ahead and divide the second term by the first. So I should be doing 81 divided by negative 243. Or I could also do negative 27 divided by 81 or 9 divided by negative 27. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do 81 divided by negative 243. And that's going to give us a negative 1/3. And then just to check, I have negative 243 times a negative 1/3. That's going to give us 81. Now let's go ahead and multiply 81 by a negative 1/3. It's going to be negative 27. And then negative 27 times a negative 1/3, 9. Okay? So in this case, guys, another thing, if you see that your sequence here is going from negative to positive or positive to negative, your common ratio will most likely be negative. So explicit form, we found the common ratio. Now let's go ahead and find our first term. Now, first term in the sequence, guys, it's actually the first number you see, which in this case is going to be negative 243. So with this information, let's go ahead and write our explicit form. So explicit form, it's going to be, in this case, let's go ahead and do A of n equal to our first term, negative 243, times our common ratio. Once again, it's negative, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in parentheses, to the n minus 1. In this case, guys, geometric sequences, n minus 1 is an exponent. So that is example 3. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our last example, guys. Last example. And in this case, it says complete the recursive formula of h of n. So in this case, guys, recursive formula talks about identifying your first term and the common ratio. So in this case, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started here with the first term. So first term, or h of 1. In this case, guys, this is what I mentioned. If you have, in this case, the exponent being just n, then this here does not represent your first term. So if I want to find my first term, I do have to substitute in a 1 for the n. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on the side, or actually do it here. So I'm going to go ahead and do 63 times negative 1/3 to the 1 power. All right, obviously negative 1/3 to the 1 power is just going to be negative 1/3. So we're actually going to end up multiplying these two. So h of 1 equals 63 times a negative 1/3, or just negative 63/3. And if we simplify this here, negative 63/3, we get negative 21 as a result. So h of 1 is going to be negative 21. So that's actually the first term. H of 1 is negative 21. And in this case, guys, the last thing we want to go ahead and find here is our common ratio. So common ratio in this case, guys, is going to be h of n equal to h of n minus 1 times my common ratio. And common ratio in this case, guys, like I said, is the base, or the number in this case, that is raised to the exponent, or the variable n in this case. So that's going to be negative 1 over 3. All right, so this here, guys, is our answer. That there, guys, is our final answer. All right.